All right, we're ready to go. I do believe. Hello. How's everyone? How's everything? Howdy and whatnot. I should change that pentacle to the night owl thing that sits like right beside the name. That's what I should do. Oh Lord. So people watching it back probably just he's just sitting there. I'm reading the comments. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, it's starting to rain here. Well, it rained earlier when I was going to the store. Of course, we had our moment when we went to the store, but it rained pretty good when I got here. So it waited for me to get in the house. So that was very considerate of it. And then it poured for about an hour, and then it stopped. It stopped now. The wind's blowing that one tree outside, so it's all right around this way. It's dark. I like rain. Rain and wind. Don't care so much for the destruction, but I like the rain and the wind. Yeah, that's the bad part. It's when that sun comes back out. Yeah, so my brother, we like it, but when you don't have to go anywhere, then it's fine. But when you have to go somewhere, then, I would rather not. Yeah, Florida period is hurricane. I'm not so far inland that it doesn't bother me. The beach is down the street. But I will say, when Hurricane Michael came through, we were very, very, very fortunate. Well, thank you. It's on my Teespring store. This is the only one I'm wearing from now on. So you'll see it tomorrow too. I got some more coming, but for whatever reason they print one at a time, so I'm waiting on the other ones. And then when they get here, I'll wear those. All right, 5 minutes, I'll get started. I don't have much tonight, but I wanted to look at some tarot and runes on these 5 officers that their lives have changed. Not the Chauvin guy. I don't really care for him much anymore. So, I mean, as long as he's in jail, then keep him there till he rots. But the other guys. So, the 75-year-old man who was pushed to the ground on videotape, mind you. This is not like we heard about it. We seen this. They are pleading not guilty to, what is it, assault, some sort of assault, second degree assault, I don't know, but it's assault. And they're pleading not guilty, even though it's... How do you plead not guilty when we seen you? Like, what? I don't understand. Because, see, I don't understand. I never looked it up. I love laws, and you would think I would look this up. I looked it up at once, but I didn't retain it. The whole first degree, I know, is premeditating. Second is just incidental or something. I don't know. But, like, why is it a not guilty plea when we seen you? It's not like we heard about this and we are going off of eyewitness testimony. Now, yes, he was right here up on you. You did not have to shove him backwards, though. Push him out the way, or at the very least say, I understand what you're saying, just let me, we're doing something here. Can I just walk past you, please, or something, or whatever. And if he resists, okay, fine, whatever, snatch him to the ground like y'all do. Whatever. But why did you have to push him back like that? Like, I don't understand. He didn't touch you, so it wasn't like he was assaulting you and you defended yourself. But maybe that's what they're going off of, is that, he encroached you and he was in your space and you defended yourself because you don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to pull something out, or maybe he's going to try to take your baton, or whatever the case may be. So maybe he's trying to hurt you, so you're going to defend yourself. So we'll look at Aaron Torglaski, I think is how you say his name. I'm not good with names. But Aaron Torglaski, he is one of them. I think he's all of 39 years old. And he is being charged with assault on this 75-year-old man who is serious but stable. Who, on the video, you can see blood pooling under his head. So, here we go. And then the rest of his unit, say they quit. They're like, if you're not going to help us, we're in a bad situation too. We're out there in the midst of the crowd. That crowd can get rowdy at any time. And, this whole thing, everything's gone out of control. But anyway, we seen you push this man to the ground, though. This is not hearsay. I don't know. So Aaron Torglaski. Let's see what the cards say. Just a general. It's Hierophant. Let's see what that means. Page of Cups. There is you know what's sad in this situation? I don't honestly think in this situation, I've said before, there are some good cops out there, so we're not going to start that. But I have never had a situation where we had a positive interaction. Ever. Ever. And I don't really want one. I don't want an interaction with police, period. For the rest of thine life, I don't want one with them at all. But if I have to have a interaction with you, I would rather it be positive, but I have never had one that is positive. But I don't think, in all fairness to these officers, I don't think that they had the intention of hurting this old man. I think it was one of those moments where you had a bad reaction to something, and then it turned out to be worse than you anticipated. So I don't want to necessarily vilify them as horrible human beings or horrible criminals for that. My thing is, why are you pleading not guilty when we seen you do it? That's where I kind of get, okay, maybe there's something we're just not saying. Maybe you're some piece of dirt, or maybe you're misunderstood. I don't know. But I'm still saying I can't see why you needed to shove him, though. So that's where I'm sort of like, I really can't, I can't be on your side, because shoving him to the ground, but like I say, I don't really think that was his intention to bust his head open. Because he didn't hit him, he just like, sort of like, get off of me type of thing, because he was close. Okay, I'm trying to be fair here. 2 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the High Priestess. So the Hierophant and the Page of Cups is where we start. And he right now he's sort of an emotional mess, whether he admits it or not, but he is. He is spending a lot of time inside. This is not just introspection. That would have been the Hermit, but he's spending a lot of time talking to his source and whatnot, because this is overflowing emotion, even though it's not the Ace of Cups, but we have like an emotional person, someone who is sort of broken down on an emotional level. So he's an emotional person and spending a lot of time in his moral compass, spending a lot of time with his source. He does not have the greatest of hope, and so maybe that's why he's spending a lot of time on the inside here with the 5 of Pentacles and potential. Potential with the 2 of Wands, that basically he's going down. Because we're in the era right now of, I don't care what they did, send them away. Because we can't afford right now, with all the protests and riots that are going on, to say, okay, this one can walk free, but this one can't, and this one can walk free, and this one can't. You can't have that right now, just as public image. And these people were seen on videotape shoving a 75-year-old man to the ground, which he bled from the head. So you cannot be seen that. So he doesn't have that kind of hope that this is going to turn out in his favor, simply because he probably needs to be a martyr, or he needs to be made an example of at this time, that you cannot be doing these type of things. But with that said, it goes back to the root problem. They're not trained properly in the first place. You need to train police officers like you train the military. And the first thing that alluded me to this, the first thing that clued me onto this long time ago was the position of their gun. And then I looked at all the other stuff that they did, and I'm like, there's so much here that one has that one doesn't. There's a certain, now there's horrible people in the military too, but there's a certain amount of discipline that is taught that is not taught to police officers. Police officers have to deal with, like I said, the grime of the world that we spend our entire lives trying to avoid. Got you? Get it. But it is, like I said, I'll just go back to the gun. I won't this because this turned into something else. I'm doing a commentary instead of reading. When you are approaching a crowd, you are not supposed to approach them with your gun pointed at them. It's supposed to be pointed to the ground. You raise your gun when you're ready to shoot. So that right there clued me in that they're trained differently, and I just think you need to start to train them the same way. Anyway, so we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Swords. There's your jail card. You even got your orange jumpsuit ready. There will be some sort of lighter sentence. So he's not going to jail for 4 years or 7 years. He might go for 2 and get some time served and be out in 8 months or something of that nature. But it's not, he's not going down the river for this. Like, the man didn't die, even though he's seriously hurt. But everybody's seen you push a 75-year. He could, I mean, and this man, mind you, is an activist. He's been at plenty of protests, and so he's got a lot of backing. He's got a lot of people who know who he is. He has been an activist for a very long time, and so this is not going to stop here. And again, with this, he doesn't have a lot of hope because he thinks that somebody's going to basically sacrifice it. That he's got to pay the price whether he meant to hurt him or not. It doesn't matter. We've seen you push this man to the ground when you did not have to. And so we end with the High Priestess. It's clarified with the Nine of Wands. So there's a lot more to this, and it will drag on post-trial, so he's going to have a lot of baggage going forward. But he's not going to jail forever. And the saddest part to me, I mean, the sad is him being pushed to the ground is a sad part, but one of the saddest parts to me is when another officer was going to bend down to check on him and the other one pushed him out of the way too. And then he got on the radio and was like, well, don't touch him. Let me call the thing, so they can't say this, that type of thing. Like, one human was responding to another human laid out on the ground and he said, don't touch him. And I know that's protocol, but still, that was bad. That was a bad look for you to not show concern when a 75-year-old man was pushed to the ground, colleague or not. Like, come on. So into who? I don't want the blank one. Is it in here? I don't want the blank one. So let's see. Let's do a rune or two. Let's do 4. Let's do 4, 1 for past, 2 for present, and 1 for future. There's your past one. These are your present. I seen you, so you come talk, and this is your future. Okay. So the past. I don't have these memorized yet. Othala. Fundamental values, property, traditions, inheritance, heritage. So these are your values. Probably what made you join the force in the first place. So I'm not going to paint him as a horrible person. This is Aron Torglaski. Now your present, we got Pertho and Berkana. Pertho is like that high priestess we got. Secret, mystery, stagnation, And Berkana, I know, is about life. Yeah, spring, birth, restoration, recovery, liberation, growth, carelessness, all day, every day. So you got carelessness and mystery. So this is your court case, and then this is your action, and this is why one leads to the other. And then Gebel. There's going to be some favor for you going in the future. So Gebel is about gifts. So he's not going to fry forever, but there will be some resemblance of justice, and so there you go. What are y'all talking about? For goodness sake. Okay, go talk to Marie about that. We don't want that over here. This ain't Marie's table. This is Johnny's table. So, Robert McCabe. He is the second one being charged. So let's look at you. That's a good question, Ruby. Do they have any regrets? Regret. Regret. Now, mind you, it didn't show up, but I didn't ask that. I just did a general reading, but it didn't show up. Thank you. I got it from a store on Etsy. It's called Uniquely Mahogany, I do believe. And she makes earrings and necklaces and all kinds of stuff. All right. Now, which one did the pushing? Did they both push? Because I get Robert McCabe. He's get the loss in the beginning. The four swords. That's a. Oh, Lord. They both did. It took two of y'all to push that man. I seen it break. I couldn't tell what the heck was going on. I didn't know both of them pushed him. I thought one did, but they both got charged, so I guess it makes sense. Was it both or was it one? Why are they both being charged? I get a Robert McCabe. I think he's 34, 35, 31. They're both being charged, though, so both of them did something. We'll just say that both of them did the pushing. Or one of, like the other guy, the Adiron, he is not, like, I don't see him going up the river forever. But I just know somebody was doing this and then he started stumbling. I didn't really pay attention to what they were doing. I just started looking because they were saying, oh, he fell. And so I was looking at him and seeing him stumbling backwards. I didn't watch it a bunch of times because that's not something I really want to see. But the Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords is what he starts with. Now, if I read these my traditional way, the traditional meanings of these do not mean this. The traditional way that I read this is someone is contemplating ending their own life. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying this is what gave me the eerie feeling when I seen them both at the same time. Because when you get these in combination, this is death, and this is the card I use for death instead of the death card, unless the death card is accompanied by other cards that say something about death. But these two together. So let's not read them that way. Let's exactly who pushes this. Oh, anyway, because he's 75. Even if he touched you, I know he's not hurting you. This man is an activist. He's been a protester his whole life. He was not assaulting you. And at the very least, what you could have done is anyway. I'm done with that because Anyway, so the Ten of Swords is loss and the Four of Swords is retreat. So this is losing your job. We'll call it that. And then the Eight of Swords is being imprisoned again because he gets the jail card too, and then the strength around it. There's a stronger case against him, which is why I was confused on the who did the pushing part. Because he gets the justice in the end. Like he may go away for 6 months and the other guy goes away for 2 or something like that. But he gets the justice in the end. He gets judgment as well. But I just get a stronger sense of despair from him than I do from the other guy. Aaron didn't have that. Robert has that here. But it seems like Aaron has got some favor. So let's look here. Because they're pleading not guilty. I think Aaron will get the favor and Robert, for whatever reason, gets the backlash. But like I said, I don't know who is who and who pushed what and what's going on. But let's do 1 for the past, 1 for the future, and 2 for the present. So the past, Pirtho, he gets it as well. This is the cup of mystery. It does mean cup, but it's mystery. So that he gets that sort of high priestess feel too. Like in the past, his past is probably filled with a bunch of stuff we don't need to look at. So that's probably what that's saying. And then he gets protection with the algaes. I think is what this one is. Yeah, algaes. But it's also warning. Loss of divine connection. So he may have a bit of spiritual blockage, which makes you feel lethargic and alone. And then Othala. Othala is fundamental values, karma. That's the karma rune. But right now, Ingwas. This is his future. So this is relief. It's also movement without change. So I think that both of them. Well, then let me clarify this. Why does he get justice? I think they'll be fine. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you choose to look at it. I mean, we've seen you. This is not some ambiguous story we heard from round the table. We seen you. So you get the 2 of coins 2, you got the tower 2, and the 7 of Robert McCabe. Let's ask, because he gets the tower and the 7 of wands. That's defending against disaster. Like he feels hopeless, like the other guy. But this one feels a little rougher. Why? Do you have any regret, Robert? Robert McCabe, do you have any regret? Let's see. Eight of Swords. Two of Pentacles again. And the Five of Swords. It feels more along the lines of not necessarily regret. It's one of those things where I'm not sorry, I'm sorry I got caught. And there takes a certain amount of inner aggression to be a police officer in the first place that you have before you even get the badge. Because who wants to go confront people every day? It takes a certain kind of person in here to want to go do something like that. So does he have any regret? Give me 3 runes on that one. Urus, Radio, and Pertho. Pertho's going to come up all night, I do believe. Urus. This is masculinity. Courage. Energy. It's the rune for an auroch or wild ox, something that has untamed energy and very strong, but very, not bullheaded, but it's aggressive. Radio, this is crisis. In other contexts, it would be like relocation and moving, but this is crisis. Crisis and delusion. And then Pertho. Pertho is, again, about secrets and mystery. He has an inner aggression, so I'm not going to say he has a regret. This is something, if this same scenario played out, he would do it again. Whoever pushed 2. Let me look at Aaron and see if he has any regret. Does he have any regrets? 4 of Cups. I said he would, yeah. He does. The 4 of Cups. There is some dissatisfaction there. The Death card and the King of Swords. I don't know who he is, but Aaron has some sort of spiritual connection that's bothering him. Something on the inside is getting to him. The Robert guy, he has hyper masculinity, so I don't think he has that in him to feel bad for people who he feels has wronged him. And so he had 0 remorse about pushing a 75-year-old man to the ground. So let's look at Aaron's runes. 1, 2, and 3. Does he feel any regret? He gets Berkano. Berkano is about carelessness. It's about recovery, restoration. Thank you, Pam. Tiwas. What does it mean? Where are you? There it is. Tiwas is communication, but it's bad communication. Yeah, that sounds like, but it's also an honor card too, or honor rune. So we get, first off, we get recovery and bad communication, or deceit, carelessness, and bad communication. He feels bad. And then Ansus is the God rune. This is the one named after Anis, I believe it's called, or anyway, this is where the gods live, Odin and Loki and Thor and all of them. This is They live in Valhalla, which is Valhalla, but it's the land of gods is Ansus. And so again with the spiritual connection. So he regrets it, and the other one has got too much machismo to say he was wrong about pushing a 75-year-old man to the ground live on videotape. And then got the nerve to why are they going not guilty? Why are they pleading not guilty? Why are they pleading not guilty? It's an image thing and a support thing. So you have the image with the Knight of Cups and the Two of Swords saying, stand your ground. Basically, don't move forward. This is stuck and stagnant, so stand your ground. And the Knight of Pentacles means help is on the way. So they've hired attorneys and that sort of thing. Don't let this ruin your reputation. We will vindicate you in court type of thing. So they have been advised to do so. There you go. So the other three, the ones who killed George Floyd, I want to look at them like this too. Jay Alexander, I can't pronounce all these people's names, so Jay Alexander is one of the guys who has been charged as well with the Chauvin guy, which I call him because named after chauvinistic, but the Chauvin guy, they all been charged with him. So Jay Alexander is the first one. So we'll just do a general read, and then I'll ask if he has any regrets. Also want to know what these guys feel about the Chauvin guy, because he did the killing, and they did the watching, therefore they go down too. So I wonder how they feel about him. I'll look at that too. But we'll do a general read for J. Alexander. The High Priestess, you start with Mystery, Page of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Moon, Two of Cups, and Eight of Swords. He's going through he's an emotional wreck now. Justice is in the fear, naturally. King of Coins, and the World. I don't understand that. His future is uncertain at the moment. There's still some stuff that's being worked out. So his situation is, is going to change. I don't know what that actually means just yet because it hasn't changed yet. But the High Priestess and the Page of Wands, they're here with some messaging that will be... something is going to be closed, or some sort of closed trial or closed deposition, or something's going to be closed, but there's going to be a lot of talking back and forth and messaging and that type of thing, which of course there is because there's a trial. The Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups, he is hopeful about his representation though. So the people who are representing him, he is hopeful about. He is not quite sure on the whole jail part, how long this is going to last and how long this is going to go on for, if he's going to go to jail forever. He's not sure about the justice part of this situation. But he does get the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a victory card, but again, there's still something that's not sure. But he is going to get a lot of who's the support from. He's going to get a lot of support from the outside. So it might be one of those George Zimmerman type things to where these weird little groups pop up that are paying your legal fees. Not something that he asked for, it's just something that might be happening. But maybe that's where the secret communication comes from. Maybe you are asking for it. I don't know. Somebody might be. But it does end in the King of Pentacle, which I clarified with the World and the Two of Pentacle. So somebody's going to be paying for your legal defense. Interesting. Justice being in the fear. So that's your general. How does he feel about the Chauvin guy? Let's see. Seven of Swords. The Nine of Wands. And the Star. Clarify the Star for me. Okay, singled out. Yeah, singled out. Okay, so he feels as though this should be his fault. That's what he feels. Because here you have the thief in the night, the sneaky one, the one who had this strategy of takedown in the first place. And then you had the stress and the strain now being put on you. And then the star being singled out. Like a lone star in the sky, star on the stage, whatever. So yeah, he feels as though this is his fault. So let's do a general read with the rune. 1, 2, and 3. Well, let's do 1 for the past, 2 for the present, 1 for the future. Thrusas. Thrusas is betrayal, evil, danger, that type of thing. That's in his past. It's also, okay, that's the one actually it's probably is. This is directed force. This is something you were supposed to do. Gebo and Ansus. There is going to be a gift from someone higher up. So someone, again, is paying for your legal fees. And then Fehu. Fehu is money, possessions, earnings, abundance, loss, greed, poverty, that type of thing, depend on how it's expected. But just as a single rune, we'll call it property and money. So I think someone is going to pay his legal fees, but he may have a bit of a mortgage problem as well, and so there might be something raised for that too. So do you have any regrets? Five of Swords, the Devil, 8 of Cups. He wanted to do something and didn't. That's sad in itself, isn't it? Let's pull some runes too to go along with these 3. 1, 2, and 3. Urus, Rosas, and Lagus. So Urus, again, the wild, untamed strength, and then you have the advantage. This would be a person with a unfair advantage like this rune. It's interesting how they match up too. Urus and the unfair advantage of the 5 of Swords. Something in him. Was he underneath this guy or something? Like, first of all, why does it take 4 of you to respond to a counterfeit bill charge or call? But anyway, there is some unfair advantage that he does feel bad about. But again, I think he wanted to say something and did not. Here you have the Devil. And then Thrusas. Thrusas is the card for card. I'm going to keep saying card because that's what's going to keep flying out. The card for Thor. Somebody with a lot of power and authority. Thunder. It means that too if that ever comes up in anything. But it could also mean violence and evil. Which goes right along with that. Thank you, James. And then there's the Eight of Cups. This is walking away, abandonment, and then Laguz. Laguz is its base meaning I can always remember, but what is the other stuff? Because it's like vegetables too. But this is okay. Emotional despair, subconscious. And then this, yeah, that they match up again. So this would be sort of that lethargic walking away, kind of in sadness, tail between your legs. This is where I get the fact that he wants to say something or wanted to say something, but he didn't. There is something in him that has this sort of despair while walking away. That's what this in particular room says as well, that you can't see. Hopefully the phone doesn't fall over, but that you this J. Alexander. Thank you, Desiree. Like, what is the saying? I don't know what it is, so I'm not even going to try. But it's something to the along the lines of when good people say nothing or something like that. But he wanted to say something and didn't. So yes, he has a regret, which is interesting. I don't really think I learned them. I learned the symbols, like I know what the names of them are, but that's a lot of meaning to write. There's like 6 words for each one, so that's a lot to keep in there. I'm still working with them. But J. Alexander, bless your heart. You watched one man kill another man in the name of your blue honor. You didn't say anything. That has to be one of those things. A part of me, the good part of me, that's not petty, wants to feel bad for you now, but I won't, out of the memory of someone who lost their life when you did nothing. Well, as a person, as a cashier, I think they did. Did they have a 911 call where it was like something awful? But I didn't hear that part. But as a person who cashiers, and not just cashiers, but cashiers in an area that has a lot of counterfeit activity, I made that call many a times because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what your corporate people tell you to do as well. You just got fake money in, so you need to call the cops. The cops come and they pick it up. We got one guy, and yet what they usually do, it's not usually one bill, which unless it's 100, but it's not usually one bill. What they try to do is buy gift cards, and then they come and give you $500 worth of fake 20s and 10s and stuff. But anywho, Thomas, I think that's his first name. I don't know how to say his last name, but because they wanted to hurt him, they really did. I still don't believe they wanted to kill him, but they wanted to hurt him for sure. Or he wanted to hurt him for sure. We're absolute 150% sure he wanted to. Because once he's handcuffed, you have no need to still be kneeling on him like that. So Thomas, General Reed. They were going to try to get that Chauvin guy for voter fraud too, I see. He lives in Minnesota but voted in Florida, but he's registered here, apparently. Somewhere in Florida. Like Donald Trump, who tried to vote in Florida but has a New York address. But he's not registered in Florida. So, Thomas. There's the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. There's leaving something behind for something new. So what are you leaving behind? Let's clarify now. There's some sort of relationship. So he is he's doing some spring cleaning in his life. Like he's washing a lot of people out. I guess he's now seeing who is behind him and who is not in his personal life. So yeah, there's that. And then the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. He has a huge sorrow, regret thing hanging over him because of his job. So I'm going to ask though still, do you have any regrets? The Eight of Wands and the Seven of Cups and the Two of Cups. Like he understands, he feels a personal loss. Like a personal loss. Like he feels as though this is being done to him. Like someone's now coming after him. Here with the King of Wands and the Ten of Swords, he feels like a serious loss here. The Eight of Wands and the Seven of Cups, communication, confusion, and then the Two of Cups. That's the people that's around him. Like he feels abandoned at the moment, and he feels like this is being done to him. Like something, he's being attacked, basically. Interesting. So, do you have any regrets? Because he wasn't the one who did it. They were all kneeling it on him at one point. Am I wrong? Like all four of them? Y'all act like he was 19 foot, 16 foot, 12 or something. Like all four of you had to lean on him? Child, please. Does he have any regrets? He's a racist. I did that reading. I think I did it. That's why he wanted to hurt him. I did it in the last live stream or something like that. He did. He definitely wanted to hurt him. And the racist rune came. I have a racist rune, or rune for racism. It came up. The Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. There's two yeses and a harmony. And not so. I won't say he has regrets on the death of George Floyd. He has regrets because his life is out of balance at the moment. So that's. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I think if he spent a little more time. In his head or with his guides and God and maybe counsel or whoever, then he would come around to this is not about him anymore. This is about actions and how we should be responsible for them and how it only takes 6 minutes, seconds to change your whole life. And so his regret is that his life is in an upheaval, and I think people, especially with the Ten of Cups as a family card, that people are abandoning him. So let's get one for his past, two for his present, and one for his future. 1 and 1, 2 and 1. So the past, Fehu. Fehu is about money. Money, greed, and poverty. So that's the past. Ehwas and Lagus. Ehwas is, what is it? I tried to remember and I don't remember. What is Ehwas? Ehwas is partnerships, mistrust, recklessness, but emphasis on partnerships. Remember that Ten of Cups. He's being abandoned by people in his life. And then Lagus is about subconscious and emotions and despair. This is the, if you, not in this case, but if you ever see that, it could mean suicide too, but not in this case. But so there's some despair that people are abandoning him. Maybe people are looking at this, maybe people close to him are looking at him as now a murderer. And so you can understand how that would fit or sit with someone. And then Tihuas. Tihuas is honor, justice, courage, bad communication. But I think he is going to have to face justice. I mean, he already is. He's being, well, sort of. He's arrested, but we'll see how the rest of this plays out. So the other one, Thou, is his last name. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. It's T-O-U, but Thou is his last name, T-H-A-O. So general read on him. Let's see what's going on with you. Death, 10 of Cups. This has ruined your life. Yeah. It only takes moments, whole life to change. He is very uncertain about his future. Something in him is starting to give up a little bit. So here's Death and the 10 of Cups. So there's a major transition, a major upheaval, because I pulled the Tower too, but there's a major upheaval to your harmony. So there is some emotional distress naturally, because I mean, think about it. Whether we like them or not, they're still humans. I'm trying to be fair. And you just killed someone or helped someone kill someone or stood there while someone killed someone and you didn't say nothing. Whatever you want to attach to them, I'm fine with it. But you stood there. Then you lost your job. Then you got arrested. Then you got charged with an accessory or whatever it was to that murder. Your entire life changed from that one incident where you say you didn't do it. Somebody else did it, but you just stood there. You can imagine how your emotions would go here. I mean, I can't weep for you, Argentina, because you stood there while one man had his entire knee in somebody's neck and didn't say nothing. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, right after the death of George Floyd, there was another officer in one of the I states, Idaho, Indiana, one of them, who pulled somebody out of the car and did the same thing with the knee in the neck, even though it's supposed to be in the upper back. It's not supposed to be in their neck. But anyway, they put the knee in the neck, and that other officer said, "Get your knee out of his effing neck." Because naturally, why wouldn't you say that? Thank you, Karen. But anyway, 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So here we have some... again, with the alliances and the relationships, there's some like he feels very uncertain about everything. This may be some sort of uncertainty around a relationship. Like, I don't know if he's married or has a girlfriend or whatever it is. But he feels as though it might be over. Or on the right. Now, mind you, all this is just a shot of self-confidence. It may not even materialize, but still. But he does have some sort of great legal representation or some sort of entity or power behind him. But his future is still very, very rough here with the Wheel of Fortune, which is the future, which is karma as well, and then the Tower. So you may have some very bad karma coming your way. I don't know what it is you did specifically that the wheel that's turning fate is coming around on you so heavily, but guess we shall see. So let's do one for the past, two for the present, and one for the future. Then I'm going to ask how you feel about that guy. Okay, so old fellow, old fella, actually. This is, well, this, if this is what I was saying about the race, this is the prejudice one. But this is in the past, so we won't attach that to it. We can just say this is family traditions, family values. He has a value system. And then here with the, because it's not in the present, so I can't call racism on him in the present. But here we have Burkano, which is about life. Carelessness. Again, the carelessness and deceit. And then we have one that I don't care how many times I went over all these runes, I will never remember what this is. Ahas, even though it's not how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Ahas. This is weakness. This is endings. This is the death card that we pulled. So there's an ending to right now your way of life, because Burkano is about life. This is like my rune for springtime. So when things start to, come to life. And then this is the endings. And so you feel as though everything is over. So there's Fehu. This is about money, greed, and property. So going forward, it's also about loss. So there will be some loss. Again, with the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune, you get a loss rune too. You're going to lose something in the future. I would look further, but I don't really care because, let's face it, this is not that important. But how do you feel about the Chauvin guy? Two came out there. There's something about you talking to him or you warning him in the car or you talking to him in the car. Did they ride together? Because there was four, so I'm pretty sure they came in two separate cars, maybe even three. Who was with Chauvin? There was some sort of communication. Maybe you were on the radio or something. I don't know. But there's some sort of communication here. And you were unclear about what was going to go on. And then there was messaging afterwards. So you talked to him afterwards too. But there was a lot of miscommunication. Again, the Burkano does also mean, or whichever one, Othala, means bad communication. So there was some sort of conversation that y'all had going forward that you weren't quite sure how the situation was going to be handled. And then you talked to him afterwards when the person you went there to arrest was dead. So y'all had a good old conversation. Now, the sad part about all of this is there were four of you there and three of you said nothing. So that's all I got. I'm done. Oh, no. I want to look at William Barr and his secret police force. Like, what the heck? Like, have they done stuff for you before and we don't know it? If you know what I mean. Barr and his secret police force. And he's getting them from apparently jails all over the world. Or the country, I should say. I've seen on Rachel Maddow that some of them are traced from prisons and stuff. So let's look at that. Have they done work for you before? Have we seen them and didn't know it? King of Cups. The Hierophant. Three of Swords. Page of Wands. And the Fool. The Tower. Ten of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. The Moon. And the Ten of Cups. So yes, they have. But the problem is, it is hard to point them out. Just when you think they can't be any more corrupt, he has mercenaries. But here with the King of Cups, there's your bar, the Hierophant, something in the government, though. These people have been around Trump with the Three of Swords and the Fool. Like, they have been around Trump. Like, directly. Not within his motorcade. Like, they have been side by side with him at times. What is the Tower here? What are you saying to me here? This was supposed how? Anyway, the answer is yes. Okay. Thank you, Jillian. So that's it. That's all I got. And then right on cue, here go ahead and see his damn TV. I tell you, that child must be deaf. You gotta be. How you don't hear that? I hear it. I know you hear it. Lord have mercy. These people is craziness. I don't know. He looks like he's my age. He probably hears voices through the wall. Talking about Donald Trump. He don't want to hear that mess. Oh, Lord. That's the way it goes, though, I suppose. I will. Definitely. Um, Pat, your fonts get flagged by YouTube every time you like post a comment. I noticed that in whoever's live stream we were in the other day. I don't know. Everybody live streams. Just watch them all. Yeah, my aunt is that way. She just likes her TV loud. She can hear. They just like the TV loud. I can't do it. It rattles my nerves on the inside. I can do my music loud because that's something I want to hear, and then I want to sing louder than it. So that's that's how that goes. But shucks, that's me. James, are you still going to do your channel? You got your ideas going? So you can start. I'm on the telephone, so you can start just like this. That's how I started mine. Now you're gonna get all the people though that's gonna come in. I can't hear. You get a better camera. I can't see. What are you doing? Why are you shuffling so loud? Human beings, and as I got the mankind card, the human beings are so special. Such fragile people. Mhm. I love my elders. That's how I know so much. If you sit and listen, they will tell you the secrets of life. If you sit and talk, you will miss it all. You don't need to know as much as me. I don't know nothing. Yeah, the cards are loud because they make loud noise. That's how it rolls over here, though. They're the star attraction. I just do the talking, so they get to make all the noise they want to. I'm smart sometimes. When I gotta be. Becca read on him yesterday. People get very sensitive when you talk about mint julep, but what do you want to know? We'll do a reading before we get out of here. What do you want to know? I was trying. This is what I was trying. This is y'all fault. I tell you, I do this every time. I was trying to keep this shorter so that people can watch it back, but you know what? We gotta be ourselves, though, don't we? Do I love my red cards? No. I actually more than love them. Whatever that word is, use it. Because I adore the color red, first of all. It's my favorite in the whole world. And I've never seen a gilded red tarot deck. And every time I see it, it makes me happy. And so, yes, I more than love it, whatever that word is. It's gorgeous. I don't really care what the pictures are. I like this. And Tarot Newbie is the one who bought it for us. So she gave us our addition to the channel here. Yes, Tallulah is gone from YouTube because people were constantly being assholes to her. So she said, you know what, let me go take care of my own emotional health and I'll see y'all on the flip side. So that's didn't y'all say this just happened to Marie's table? So that's what happens. Like people say words and then they think, I spoke my mind. I don't really need to to curb what I say or give a crap how they feel about it. I just need to say something. And so I said something and then I walked away. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they have to sit with that. And then they want to, no, I don't think Marie's table's gone. I think somebody was saying there was just some, I don't know. I'm not even going to try to characterize it because I don't know. I just kept seeing this back and forth, and I'm like, focus on what I'm doing right now. She had her chance to go do whatever she wanted to do, and y'all was over there. Y'all should have said something, but over here we talk about me. People can suck, but people see. This is why I posted so many like thank you and I appreciate because I do appreciate y'all. I do appreciate y'all a lot. And I don't want to ever give the impression that I don't. I don't want to ever give the impression that I don't care for y'all or whatever. Um okay, Ian. Don't I mean you can say what you want to say. Just I mean, you know how it goes. People like to fight back, so I'm just, whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't tell you what to do. But this is why I always say I appreciate y'all because you all could be a lot worse. And not you all, but you know what I mean. This could be worse than it is. Um my very first channel, well, not my very, but my first channel that I was pushing out content was a video game channel. And the video game world is awful in comments. And that is mainly, believe it or not, why YouTube changed so much in their platform is because of the comments that was going towards those people. They were awful. Like they got called all kinds of names, and the kindest thing that they would say is, "Oh, you suck. I would have done this better than you." And then you get on the cooking videos are worse. So I can't believe you eating that. Why are you eating this? And why are you doing this? And why? Like this, and I got it too when I first started. I can't see, I can't hear. Okay, those legitimate complaints, but then the shuffling is too loud, and then you smack when you talk, and it's like people don't realize that one of you saying something crazy is not bad, but when it becomes 200 per video, then it's like, why am I even doing this? And this is what Tallulah's thing was. It's like, this is not fun anymore, and this is not my job, therefore I don't have to do it. So if you're going to suck the fun out of it, then just call it quits. And that's what she did, and I don't blame her. We'll miss her, but she might pop up, throw us a bone and appear on somebody's live stream or something like that. Yes, you can turn the chat off, but why have to go through all that? It's still, and then you have to go and you have to post a video and know that you turned the chat off because you're not having fun anymore. Like, I should be able to post a video and not be accosted by random people. Like, it's like, watch the video. If you don't like it, move on. If you do like it, watch it. Yeah, there is a couple of us out here in these YouTube streets that are actually Republican, but I got a reading coming on that. I don't know how to say that. Mocha cream. There you go. And Karen, thank you. Mocha Reem, thank you as well. There is a video coming on, I don't know when, but yes, there will be another one, but it has to go through bureaucracy first. But yes, there will be another one. I don't know how much. McConnell wants it less, and so they'll have to fight over that. So we shall see. And see, I love you guys. But like I say, it is, I don't ever want to give the impression that I don't. And so I had one on Graham's reelection, but I don't know when it's coming out. But I think some things are going to change. So something is still in the works. I think this political attack, I don't know if it's going to work because he just has a way of just saying, hey, this is an attack against me. It's all false. I don't solicit prostitutes. Duh, duh, duh. But, I mean, this is where all the thumbs downs come from. They hate it when you talk about people's sexuality because it just sounds like you're making fun of gay people. And it's like, first of all, and second of all, if you feel slighted by what somebody says, it's because you have an unhealed scar, whether you want to pretend or whether you want to admit it or not. Those are words. Now, that's the reason they say the pen is mightier than the sword, because words have more power than guns and weapons. But if somebody says, whatever kind of word that sets you off, you have to understand that you have an unhealed scar, and every time somebody says that one word, it pricks at you because it is it's unhealed. And so people, you say the word gay, and it's not a bad word, and then their ears stand up because they want to hear the rest of what you got to say because they're about to scrutinize it. And calling him a woman is part of that. And so it's like an attack on him, an attack on sexuality, an attack on all gay people when you call Lindsey Graham or Jared Kushner a woman. And so then people get upset about that because sounds like you're attacking gay people. Not them personally, but all gay people are being attacked when you call Lindsey Graham and that other child a woman, which I can see that. I can even agree with that because that's where a lot of hypersexuality, what do you call it? Hypermasculinity comes from, is when you try to downgrade a man by calling him a woman. And then he has to try to make up for that and blah, blah, blah. So, it's that type of thing. So I get it. I do. And so I call him mint julep because it makes me laugh. And this is my channel and I do what I want to do. But I understand. I do understand. Like, if you want to be upset about it, that's fine. Just don't come over here and say that I'm being homophobic or whatever. Nobody has, just for the record. But that I called him mint julep or that I refer to him as something that sounds feminine. Because me growing up, I've had this voice and these mannerisms my whole life, so we don't even want to start. Okay? Thank you and goodbye. My name is Johnny, Johnie, but I've been called faggot more than I've been called Johnny my whole life, so we're not even going to start there, okay? But I get it. People get upset when, you feel a little that it pricks at you. Like that word doesn't prick at me because, I'm grown and you can't hurt me with your attention getting. But that's the problem that I have, is that you are a gay man. Yes, Lindsey Graham, you are just as flaming as a hot Cheeto. But What is bothersome is that you are in a party that is anti-gay and you are gay yourself. Let's be real about this. And that you have fought against the progression of the LGBT movement your whole darn career. So this is why people have a problem with you. Is that you call yourself Republican and then they are the antithesis of what you are. So this is why you get made fun of. And then it sounds like you're making fun of all gay people when you make fun of him. So I get it. But I get it and I got it. So we move on from that. But let's look and see. What is the question? Do we want to know if he's soliciting or what? It's like you, and I get it. He comes from a certain age and a certain era where being gay was the worst thing in the world. It was almost worse than being black. It's like you can't be gay. He was in the military too, and that was probably frowned upon, even though I'm pretty sure y'all had some hanky panky when the lights went out. Because you can't put a whole bunch of men in one place and one of them ain't touching the other one. So I'm just saying. But I understand. He lived in this era where this was not a thing that you were. This was you needed to go and find you a girlfriend and have you 3 kids after y'all got married or slipped up and then she got married and your baby was a guest at the wedding. You know, them type of things. But he's never really gotten that. And this is the problem people have. Nobody gives 2 bags of donkey shit whether you are gay or not. What they care about is that you are gay and you fought against it your whole life. But, like I said, he comes from an era where being gay was a bad thing. But now that you are in an era where you share Congress with gay members and trans members and these type of things. Okay, so the Republicans, Shepard Smith was on Fox, try not to curse, on Fox effing News. Shepard Hole Smith was on Fox News. And he's as gay as a jaybird. And so Pence too, him and his religion garbage by signing bill or whatever he was doing up in Indiana, Idaho, wherever the hell he's from, him too. Like, I understand. Like, I really understand. They come from eras where, you know, if you don't have a girlfriend or a wife, then you're probably just a player or a tomcat or whatever they called you back then. But really, good for him. And I don't ever think Shepard was closeted. He was just, you know, on a weird network, which I have to hold that against him too, because you shouldn't have been in there spouting that garbage for them either, knowing how anti-you they were. And so that's the problem. It's not about your sexuality. It's about what you do in direct opposition to it. The same would be said for, the same is said, even though you can be Republican if you want to. I mean, I ain't gonna stop you. But when you're black and Republican, people look at you like, why? Why sway? Why? Why are you black and Republican? Like, what do they have that you won't? And then some people are greedy, black people are greedy corporatists too. They can be. So why not join the Republican Party? You got all the money and the power over here. So, I mean, people are people, right? And so Lindsey Graham, being one of those people who likes money and power, probably fell into that same line, even though he's just a hypocrite. And I'm just saying. Mitch McConnell, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. These cards are called Sweet Mary and Joseph. That's not what they're called, but what is the name of them? Encore Tarot by Cyril Marchetti. Is who gonna win Tuesday? Who got a thing on Tuesday? Oh crap, are we getting that close to somebody? Yeah, Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen just had babies, didn't they? Well, Andy Cohen's is old, but Anderson Cooper, he just had a baby or something like that. The Solicitation of Prostitution, Martha, by Lindsey Graham, to see if this is true or this just a political attack, because he does have an election coming up. So let's see. Are you soliciting? Well, we start with money and the Nine of Pentacles. We have, you know what? There's a rune for that. That's gonna be the new saying of this channel. There's a rune for that. Which one is it? Oh, Jesus. Unyo. Unyo is about joy and comfort, right? But it can be lying to a person about sexuality or sexual orientation. Or gender identity is what it was actually said, but I accompanied or put in all the rest of that. So, Magician. Oh, that's being catty. I think he's being politically attacked. And like, I don't get any. There's somebody who paid for this spin of the story. I think he is being politically attacked, or the justice and the conflict and the politics. I think he's being politically attacked. So, does this story have any basis of any kind of truth, resemblance whatsoever? Oh, you know what, Ian? You don't need batteries that much anymore. You can just plug some of them into the wall. So, where does this story come from? Does it have a basis whatsoever? Is there something there? Is there somebody there? Two of them came out. What do they say? Again, with the political attack and the money here in the end. But there is a person here with the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles that is seeding money into this. I think it's just trying to make sure that he loses the race. But for the sensitive among us, though, we are going to delve into his sexuality. So if this is something that upsets you, then close your ears or go watch something else. There is a very charming village. I wish I could understand. I wish I could pronounce. It's not Skarsgård, because that's no. It's in Norway, but there is a very, very charming little village off the coast of Norway that I have been fixated on, because there's a live stream of it. So, Lindsey Graham, how you get it in, sugar? How do you do? Let's see. We'll delve into it and see, because naturally there is some basis for the attack. So, let's go get the list. First card. I'm gonna keep calling them cards. I told y'all this. Ansus, misunderstandings. Ehwas. Ehwas is partnerships, a good marriage, mistrust, he hasn't found the right one. Kanaz. I used to know what that means off the top of my head. Exposure. sex. That's what that means. It means it's the root of it means torch. Torch, or actually the root, the old English I think is like sores and blisters actually. But thank you, Ocean Garden. That's what it's called. Oh my God, I love that place. I would live there for at least 3 days. But as you see, there's nothing else there. But that place is so freaking charming. So, this is exposure in sex. And then we have not TWAS. What is this? Algies. Algies is about protection. It's something that's taboo. Because this can be a religion one too, but it's something that's taboo. And it's taboo because this stands for talismans and things that ward off evil, or something that's occult like. And so this is where you get the taboo part from. So right after his sex and exposure, you go to taboo. And then you have Yera. Yera is setbacks, bad timing, repetition, patience, tending to details, fruits of your labor, sowing things. This is also time. When is the right time to come out when you are a old Republican? Because how are people going to take that? Not to mention, how are people going to take that in your district? The thing that he's a senator, so the state that you represent. How are they going to take that? Like, how? So, I mean, it's one thing for a person to say, oh, everybody should come out, everybody should be free, and everybody should blah, blah, blah. Okay, but everybody doesn't have the same support system you do. So if you want to yank somebody out of the closet, then you need to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning when they call you and say, I'm down and depressed because everybody has kicked me out of their life. So I don't want to shove him out and drag him out, but how is he supposed to, function in his actual reality? Which I'm sad to say, because I shouldn't say this as another human being, but I actually don't care. Because you are fighting against the very thing you should be standing for. So that's why I don't care. So there you go. In the dark. Oh, Lord. I think, well, you know what? Okay, so let me focus this part. I don't know why I have to do all this gesticulation, but I do. I'm part Italian, I think, so I have to talk with my hands. There is this focus that certain generations have, that they see a person doing masculine things and therefore they say that that person's not gay. They will never say that they are. When Luther Vandross, for those who don't know, look him up, one of the greatest singers that has ever lived. When Luther Vandross died, my father said, they keep saying that Luther Vandross was gay. That ain't true. And you go back and you watch his performances and you think to yourself, how do you not see it? But all his songs are about women. Like he sung songs about women. And I love this woman and this woman. And so you get this laser focus on, oh, he's straight because he sings songs about women. Or he plays baseball and basketball and he wrestles or whatever. And so you think that, he's masculine, therefore he's a man and he has to be straight. Because all gay people have broke wrist syndrome and they all, talk like they got popsicles in their mouth or something, but we ain't going there. So that's that whole stereotype of what a gay man is supposed to be, and they don't match it, so they don't think about that. And so If you see Lindsey Graham and he doesn't fit that certain laser focus that some people have on a person being gay, they will never see it. I don't care how sweet he talks, they will never see it. And so that's what I'm comparing it to is some people will never see it because he didn't come out and say it. Therefore, you assume he's straight because he's Christian and he's Republican and blah blah blah. So they'll never see it. They don't want to see it. It's like, why would they assume that about somebody they like? Which is very interesting. I miss Luther too. Oh Lord Jesus. I was actually watching some of his performances yesterday or the other day. I don't know what day. One of them days. I actually been watching Barack Obama all day. Yes, if someone doesn't have gaydar, they will not see it. And nobody in my family could see Luther Vandross was as gay as he could be because he sung songs about women. So therefore, he must be straight. It's like if you read it on the internet, it must be true. Okay. And so if Lindsey Graham tells you that he's sweet on the lady folk, then you'll believe it. If you don't, you're not inclined to believe otherwise. I was watching him do random stuff like go to exactly Debrat and Queen Latifah. Like they don't need to come out. I mean, it doesn't matter. So who cares? But they make a big deal out of it. So there you go. But I was watching him do random stuff. Like he went to a candy store and bought some candy for Michelle and the girls, and he was at the bookstore and bought books for Sasha Malia, and he went to a restaurant and said, "Oh, that's a tasty cookie right there." I'm like, "Oh, come back to us, please." And the part that stood out to me is not well, it was him too, because I don't know. I was I would think I was on my period or something. I was in one of the moods. Like I needed something to make sense in the world. So I was watching how people reacted to him more. And that's what just really I cling to in those videos. The fact that they gave a crap about who was in the White House. Like they gave a crap that he came and sat at their table and ate with them, and he shook their hands, and not just shook your hand and moved on. He shook your hand and said, "How are you?" Like they cared about that. And then I watched Michelle Obama greeting the visitors who were doing the tour, and they didn't know that she was going to be there, and they were all surprised. And it was one lady, she was like she's about to pass all the way out because she wanted to see, it's like this is back in the day, and pardon me, but I want to say it this way: when people gave a shit about the White House. Right now, if that whole house burnt down to the ground with that man in it, I would not care. Go up in orange flames. But when Barack Obama was in that White House, did he do everything right? No. But is it the kind of person we needed at that time? Absolutely. And we need him again right now. But he's done enough for this country, so move on. But the fact that people gave a crap that he was visiting them, that he shook their hand, and he's walking down the street just random, and then people are like, "Hey, I love you," and that's what I'm saying. You don't see that other fool doing none of this because don't nobody give a crap about him. He gets booed in stadiums. He goes, takes the photo op at the church. The people who care about him all look the same, which is another thing that you have to be careful of. And I've seen how this white lady, She hugged Michelle Obama like she ain't seen this woman in 54 years, and they used to go to school together. Like she was emotional, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." And find a black woman to do that to Donald Trump, besides Polly and Esther. Find a black woman to do that to Donald Trump. It ain't gonna happen. Not unless he paying her rent and bought her a brand new Cadillac. So people gave a crap that this man was in office. That's what I loved about it most. About all those little videos I was watching anyway. Tin and foil. Absolutely. I can't. I ain't even gonna start on them. I can't. He's just the worst creature on earth at the moment, outside of roaches and mosquitoes. But he's almost up there though. I don't know what that means, Tarot Newbie. What does that mean? Mitch McConnell was kicked out of the military? And what does preference for organs mean? That's a good question, Connie. Oh, I don't know. Are they being developed now? They all have a lifespan. You said organs. I'm going inside, like liver and onions organs. But you saying he like Peter and Paul? Are they being developed now? Give me one more here. There is a startup, but it does not have a whole lot. But yes, basically, it doesn't have a whole lot of money. I don't know what it's called or how it works, but it can't seem to get off the ground. But there are financiers, and these are celebrities. Like two just popped in my head. So these are celebrities. Somebody's going to back it, or somebody's going to believe in it, or somebody's going to buy it. I think the Justin Timberlake or somebody bought MySpace. It's going to be like one of them type of things. And then everybody will see it. Some sort of social media thing here. Everybody will see it with the sun. So yes, there is one being developed right now, but it has no money right now. Well, he does like Peter and Paul, and Paul's Peter. But I don't know if that's what got him out of the. I never heard he was kicked out of the military. Baby gate. I like that. Facebook tried to buy MySpace. I'm surprised they didn't. Why that didn't go through? He bought Instagram. Doesn't he own Snapchat too? He just doesn't own TikTok, and Vine shut down. What is the other one? Google Plus shut down. Twitter. That's the other one. He just doesn't own those. But Twitter is a piece of crap in itself. Isn't that a shame though, Ian? How let's say for the sake of argument that he's not a billionaire, so we're not even going to go there. But he's a millionaire. And probably, I don't know, it's 700 of us in here, so there might be one of y'all in here that got a whole bunch of money. But we, as non-millionaires, would not want to trade places with an actual millionaire because his life sucks that bad and nobody loves him. Except his mama, and she could be jabbing too. Tumblr's, yeah, it's still around. But it's just a picture thing. Do people like communicate with each other on there? Not 1,000 years. What are you doing? Tumblr is a mess. It's basically Instagram for porn people. That's basically what Tumblr is. That's all it is. Trump. When people show me that pic now, I listen. First of all, let me preface what I'm about to say by saying this. Can I sense loneliness in a person? Yes, I can. I don't know how because I'm not traditionally an empath, but I can sense people's emotions. Period. And I think this is you're a dollar there. Now that's funny. um, people, people's emotions like jump out at me. I don't feel them though. I just see them. So if a person is they appear happy, I can still see the hurt. And I think that's just part of the minister in me that is supposed to see that. But what was I saying? I don't remember, so I'm not that important, I guess. That was funny. Dollar. I'm gonna steal that. Tumblr said they were. I don't know. I haven't been on there, but they said they were, and I don't think that went over very well. But you know, we'll see. Yes, and the problem with loneliness is, does Trump hurt like emotionally? I know he rages. Jay Rivera late to the party. Does he hurt? Oh. So let's see. Do you feel? Well, thank you, James. Do you feel? Thank you, Aura. I hope so, Miss May. Do you feel? Mm. All right, they'll all get Do you feel? What does that mean? It's cold right here. He feels when he loses something. I don't know who that was, but that's his brother. You know, he did have a brother pass away. He feels when he loses something. The Fool. So that's where we're starting. Isn't it interesting? I say this periodically because it's interesting. We are not calling him a fool. This is how it comes up. Even though we are, but we're not. We are because I mean, if it said chicken, we'd call him chicken, but it says fool, so there you go. Six of Wands. The victory, the celebration, self-celebration is what I heard. So self-grandizing, something that makes him feel bigger, something that makes him feel taller. Yeah, big image, big voice, big everything. Everything has to be big, and yeah, and then death. Everything has to be big. This is. There's him, and there's the brother, and there's death. Okay, and then Ace of Wands. It's a vow. Queen of Pentacles. Obsessed with money. Obsessed with possessions. But it's not obsessed with, like the King of Pentacles gets it and sits on it. This will be like a Warren Buffett type thing, to where he thinks about money all the time, but he doesn't have a golden house. This is obsessed with possession. Because you sit and you look at it all day. Two of Cups, Four, and the Hierophants. And the Emperor. He likes to think that he is in command. Of not just his emotions, but his religion. He does not feel lost in the traditional sense. Feeling lost would be an acknowledgement of something there, other than himself. Loss of something personal to him, but he wants to be in command of his own religion because he doesn't want to be dependent upon a higher up. Like, you can't influence me that much. I am in control of this. Perfect description. What would you call a person who thinks they know more than God? If you were being kind and not cursing. Because when he loses something, he wants it back. And that's where his loss comes from. When he can't get it back. So it's permanent loss. When he cannot get it back. Okay. That's what I hear from the brother. That he feels permanent loss when he cannot get something back. And he feels as though he needs to be in control of everything. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. What is his name? Something Trump. We disconnect. We disconnect. Let's root it up and see. We'll do 3. Give me this one. Canaz, Lagous, and Manaz. This is Man. Fred Jr. Thank you. Lagous is what? Despair, depression, subconscious, emotion, dreams. And Canaz is exposure, breakup, instability, false hope. So does he feel when something feels out of control or out of his control? Some like the brother said, when he has a permanent loss, when he loses something he cannot get back, that's when he feels. I will not call it feels as in deep emotion. They might be one of 2 things. One is rage and one is I don't want to call it sadness because it's not sadness, but it might be his brand of sadness, so we'll call it sadness. It's more of a indifference, like a despondency, like he's just kind of cut off. So yeah, that's what he feels. He feels when he cannot get something back. Ain't no fool like an old fool. That's a darn shame. So yes, that's what he feels. That's what I get. Yes, and fear is deeply rooted in that because if you lose one thing, then you're fearing you're going to lose everything when you're not really in control. Connie, I answered that one. Yeah, and that's probably why he came through. Because that's probably one of his greatest losses. I will say that. The one thing he couldn't get back. And this is probably his problem with religion. You didn't bring back the brother type thing. The fence around the White House is to protect Donald Trump from protesters. Or protect the House from protesters or whatever. I don't know. For Connie, the answer was yes. They just don't have the money yet, but I believe 2 celebrities will eventually come along and fund it, or maybe start their own or something of that nature. But yes, there will be another one, but they don't have the money yet. Isn't that interesting though? How Obama is just it taunts him, it terrorizes him, it whatever him, and I mean Obama said maybe 2 3 things over the last 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. He like has a little apartment for Obama in his head, and he just lives there and goes over and over and over. He probably has arguments in his head where he wins all the time. Oh, a Trump ad? Oh, jeez. They aren't asking you to sign his birthday card, are they? Yes, Obama does make him feel like a failure because he wants to be him. He wants to be cool and has swag and all this type of stuff. And His family likes him, and people like him, and all the celebrities came to his party, and you know, that's that's what Donald Trump used to be, though. He used to throw big lavish parties, and Mike Tyson and all the big celebrities would come out and, give a crap about Donald Trump until Donald Trump started trying to run for president. And then he just looked like one of the regular Republican psychopaths. Or weirdo paths, as I used to call them back in the day. Everybody likes Obama. All those Republicans that were against him, they liked him. They just couldn't stand him. Because how dare you be better than us in our face? John Boner, that stupid fool, all them people. Mitch McConnell probably didn't, because Mitch McConnell wants to be him too. Instead of some weird saggy neck loser with a drug pushing wife. I don't think so. I think the t-shirts we have, I think that's probably what's going to be there. Oh God. Rush Limbaugh. How can you like a Rush Limbaugh? That I don't understand. There's an acronym back in the day when Obama was president. It was BASS. That's what I made up, BASS. Because they said he had swag. And I didn't like that word at the time. I don't care now. But it's like boys have swag. When they're growing up, young men have swag. Grown men have style. Like women or girls or ladies, or you want to call young girls, they have sass. And then women have beauty. BASS. Or attitude, that's what it was. They have attitude. And then women have beauty. Yes, I was watching that too, where Angela Merkel don't speak a lick of English, and they had their glass and they was cheering, and she was laughing. She put the hand on the shoulder. She tried to shake Trump's hand, and Trump acted like she had the Ebola virus or something, which is back, by the way. Like it's like everybody liked him. Trudeau treated him like brother from another mother, for God's sakes. It's like his best friend. The Queen loved him. Everybody, because they had respect for him. Because he didn't act like a child. And so how can you not at the least have some respect for him? Everybody liked him but Putin, because, he stepped on Putin's nads and he couldn't do nothing about it. Yes, Ebola is back. No, I walk everywhere. If the protest ain't going down the street, I ain't going. Where am I walk to? This is Florida. Who protesting where I am? This is Trump country. Ain't Black Lives Matter, yes, but around here it ain't but three of them, and that's me and the two people who live downstairs. So if I die, come march for me. I mean, anyway. Yeah, Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama's face. I mean, it just that was a good picture. Because it's just a place to live. I didn't pick Florida. Job market picked Florida. Ebola's in Africa. One of them countries, I forget. There's 52 of them, so I didn't keep track of that part. But It has resurfaced, but it's not some big giant, you know, pandemic type thing. It's in that one little place, and they just had to throw out the story that it's back, but it's not rampant. It's not killing thousands of people. It's not like last time. But they just wanted to let us know that somebody has tested positive and all that type of stuff. But it's not like it was last time. No, the hurricane is going towards Mississippi, actually. So I seen on some sort of report that Biloxi is, they're bunkering down and preparing for it because it's supposed to be here tomorrow. But there is nothing here. It's it rained a couple times, but it like sprinkled on our little walk earlier. But and then it rained like a nice little drop of rain earlier. But and I walked in that to the mailbox because I just wanted to walk in the rain. I'm weird like that, and so yeah, I did that. But it's not crazy here. We do get lucky with that type of thing, and I don't know if it's because we're so close to the beach to where when the storm lifts, it goes over us and then drops more inland. But Hurricane Michael went right over us too. At the most, like the power didn't even go out. The internet went out, which I mean could be disastrous for some, but in all seriousness, it went further into the city and did all the damage in the world. But it went right over us, and the most we can say that happened here is that the internet went out for like a week or something like that. And then cell phone service went down depending on who you had. I like the thunder. I like the lightning too, as long as I'm not outside. I walked in a lightning storm once and was nervous the whole time. But I like that type of stuff. I like storms and cloudy skies. I don't really care for the sun, but I like storms and rain and clouds and gloominess. I love that. Yes, most animals. I actually, some of the wildlife programs that I would watch, like there's a reservation in Kenya, Masamari, I think it is. Anyway, that's like the town. Anyway, um, and so when you would see a thunderstorm approaching, or it started to rain and then there was some thunderstorms happening, all of the animals would turn away from the storm because their instincts are still wired right. We gave ours away for logic. So theirs is still wired right. So they're still connected to the earth, which is how they know storms and stuff is coming. They turned away from the storm and then they like hunch their bodies in. And so they get as small as they can and close to the ground as they can until it stops. But they like stay still. They don't move. So it's a very interesting thing to observe when something like that starts happening. Well, see, here's the thing. Um, and don't take this. Hi, Texicana. How you doing? Tell hubby I said hi. But don't take this any kind of way other than nice because we're just having conversations, right? But when other readers out there in the world do a reading and they say something, ask them to clarify it. If you have like further questions, or ask them to, are you sure about this or whatever. But like, I don't want to go and like go behind them and make it sound like I don't believe them, or you know what I mean. I don't want to give the impression that I'm like trying to prove them right or wrong. Proofread, as I said. So I don't know. I don't like to do that. I mean, they do it to me. I don't really give a crap, but I don't want to, sound like that's what I'm doing. Because they did their reading, because their spirit spoke to them and they didn't speak to me. So, you know, whatever they got, they got. If you got a question about it, ask them. That would be, I think, the fairest thing to do. Because, anyway, do I blush when other readers mention me in their video? No. I don't mean to sound like that, but no. No. It surprises me. Okay, I know y'all said I'm such a beautiful person, but let me get on the soapbox for just 2 seconds. Like, afford me this one time to be slightly boastful, okay? I will not say everybody likes me, but everybody has watched me, okay? There's a lot of people that when they do like me, they say so. I appreciate that. Jen Lin Tarot, was the first time somebody mentioned me. And see, I'll talk about that in a minute. I don't want this to sound crazy, but I'm gonna get all this out. Let me stop reading this. But I know that everybody has at least watched one time. Before I got on YouTube, who was doing the monthly readings for Donald Trump? Like Donald Trump's November, Donald Trump's December. Me. And now everybody do it. Where'd they get that from? They probably got that from y'all because y'all came over here and seen it and told them they should do it. But they probably got it from here because they all have seen it. Some of them did not like me, so they stopped watching. Some of them, like Jen Lin Tarot, like Lena Rodriguez, they went on their channel and say, hey, y'all should go check this person out because I think they're fantastic. Lena loved the channel. Jen loved the channel. She loved even more that there's another reader and he wasn't a woman. Or it wasn't a woman. Like, And so, I get it. That everybody doesn't want to support each other. I understand. But you have seen this channel at some point. There's one video I have that has like 60,000 views, but I only have 10,000 subscribers. So I know somebody didn't seen it. Then they just didn't stay. And that's fine too. Now, for those who mention me and I don't watch them, then I'll never see it. But I don't, because a lot of people come and say, oh, like you said, Cash Peters said my name in a video or something. And so I'm like, okay, I don't really know how to take that because I don't want to say I don't care, but it's not something that I look for. Let me say it that way. And therefore, when it's found, it's not really like serendipity. It's not really a happy occurrence. It's just, okay. I mean, I've never seen Cash Peters. Why? Because I watch people who use tarot cards. If they don't use tarot cards, I don't watch it. Not against them. They just don't do the thing I'm looking for. I also don't watch people crochet. I'm not looking for that. But I will watch a person cook macaroni and cheese for the 900th time in a row. But I'm not really interested in crochet. And I'm not interested in channeled readings. But they're awesome. I've seen one. I've seen Dave from Moonlight or whatever it's called. I've seen him one time. So when people give me shout outs, I appreciate it. because they don't have to, you know. But I don't go all schoolgirl when they do. It's just, it's, you know, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. And see, that's what I hear, and I trust Lena Rodriguez's judgment when she said Dave was good. So I watched Dave, but Dave ain't got no tarot cards. So, and I watched the whole thing, and I seen him do the, you know, the thing he does, and it was great. It's just, it wasn't my thing. Like I said, I don't watch crochet either. I don't watch golf. It's a whole bunch of stuff I don't watch that other people like. You know. There you go. No, I don't want to watch him for his spirit. I want to watch what you're doing. I'm not drawn to people's energy like that. If you're doing something I want to watch, then I'll watch that. But if you're not doing something I want to watch, I'm not going to hang around just for your spirit alone. Like, unless you're having conversation like we doing here, you know, we did our readings in 1.5 hours and then we chit chat for the next 3 hours. That's how we do. If you watch this channel and that ain't your thing, you will stop watching it, right? Yes. I'd watch the little old lady who makes the planters. She has a very calm energy. Now she has a good energy. Now, but I am interested in arts and crafts. So because that's not something I know how to do, but I like the fact that other people know how to do it. And so I watch her, and she's very calming. She ain't got no yelling, no screaming. She loved the Lord, and she tell you, and she drank her coffee, and she watch her birds, and then she make a pot, and then the video's over. And I think it's lovely, the whole thing. I'd like, but if I'm gonna watch a psychic, I'm not gonna watch a psychic who makes flower pots. I'm gonna watch a psychic who does runes or tarot or something. They got to use a tool of some sort because that's the kind of crap I like. I don't like the whole eye closed and this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm sensing, this is what I'm getting, and boom, here it is. That's not my cup of tea. So there you go. I said all that to say that. No, nobody has a lane. So if somebody's telling Cash Peters that, then no, nobody has a lane. He can do what he want to do, or whoever you were talking about. He can do whatever he want to do. And Lena likes him too. So like I said, I trust her judgment. She don't like crazy people, so there you go. And I'm pretty sure he's awesome. Oh, you know what? No. That video. No, I don't watch Linda G either. Linda G has tarot cards, but I can't see them. So no. But I did watch Linda G a couple times, and I like Linda G. She's hilarious. She has a good spirit, but I want to see what you're doing. That's my thing. That's what I like to see. This is not an endorsement otherwise going, you know, down or up. You watch whoever you want to. Like I say, there's somebody for everybody, and not everybody is for everybody. Because we'd all have the same number of subscribers if that was the truth, but no. Yes, Linda G is good. And I like Linda G. I just don't watch Linda G. I used to watch Tracy Brown back in the day. That was the first one I subscribed to, actually. When I first started watching YouTube Psychics was Tracy Brown. Well, she was the first one I knew was even doing it. Yeah, no. What happened to you and Tracy Brown? Nothing. Tracy Brown's just another psychic on YouTube. She has some Trump ratings too. She does a whole lot of things. She has some Trump ratings. She's got a lot of pop culture readings and things like that. She had a feud actually too with somebody in a makeup company. They like hacked her and a whole bunch of crap started happening. Do I still watch it? No, I don't still watch it. Yes, that's Susan. If I ever get a phone in, then you have to call Ian. You absolutely do. No, I did not make the damn cornbread. But you know what? I didn't make the cornbread because I don't have any rice and beans. I love Marianne. I'm subscribed to Marianne. Because she has like 1,000 cards like I do. But anyway, I have rice, but I don't have the beans that I want. And so I can't eat cornbread by itself. I have to have it. Um, I was at the store but I wasn't thinking about cornbread when I went in the store. I wanted some junk, and so that's what I got. But I don't have the kind of beans that I want, and I can't eat cornbread by itself. So I need to go get that. We need to go to the grocery store too, because like we live like poor people. There's nothing in this house. We got some chips and some salsa. Like, what kind of house are we living in right now? Yeah, that's what people keep telling me is that Marianne made her own oracle cards or something like that. I'm surprised a whole lot of people aren't doing that though, like making their own decks and things. Rice and beans for cornbread. Yes, that's how we do it in the country. Well, the country where I'm from. You know what? I don't know what kind of beans they are. I don't ever cook them. I just eat them. Yes, there you go, Larry girl. It's food time now. I mean, the other psychic people on the thing, like a Linda G or somebody, like they're not making their own decks and things. I mean, I'm sure Linda G's got enough to do. She seems like she's always busy, but those kind of people. Like I'm just surprised they don't all have decks and things. Truth Warrior's making one. Okay. Is Mary Ann's a oracle deck or is it a tarot deck? Oh, really? Is it because of the protest or is it like a COVID thing that they don't ship to the US? Yes, Ann, we can see you. What are my favorite cards? As in like favorite deck of cards? This one right now, simply because of that. This is my absolute favorite deck in the world right now. I used it today. I had some private readings today. I used it today. I've been using it since I got it. Like, yes, I can see you, Ann. Like, I love that deck. It's called Encore Tarot. It comes with its own. How many decks do I have? I don't know anymore. I'm going to say 120 because that sounds safe. Bye, Kathy D. That sounds safe. 120. Yes, I have to have cornbread with my beans too. Beans and rice and cornbread. Even if you don't have the rice, you don't have to have the rice part. But the beans, they need cornbread. And that's where the beans and rice and cornbread come from because they usually just have beans and rice together. But if you just have the beans, you got to give me some cornbread too. You wish you ate, you wish you ate that, not me. See, I am a Gemini. I like variety. And therefore, I have to have a bunch of different decks. I cannot have one or two kind. It's an oracle deck. Okay. I have to have many. I've had one deck for like years. That was that Gilded Tarot, the first one I ever had. But after that, once I started buying one, then I had to buy more and then more and more because I kept seeing images that, oh yes, the lemon wafer's actually almost gone. That trail mix, I'm eating everything except the pretzels. The pretzels are interesting. I like pretzels, but I don't know if I like yogurt pretzels. But they don't taste bad. It's just the sweet and salt have never been my thing. But those lemon wafers, child, please. Hot water cornbread, yeah. Well, I mean, you fry something in the skillet, you gotta love some hot water cornbread, though. No, that's not hot. Is that hot water cornbread? I like cornbread, period. Except jalapeno cornbread. That one I don't really care for that. But I like most beans. And see, the Rider Waite was never one I wanted. And I thought I would. Yes, it is, Jay. I thought I would because I kept seeing it over and over and over again. Because I would watch, in my early days of YouTube, I would watch Jen and Sienna. And that's the only deck they would use is that Rider Waite with the plaid back on it. I didn't like the back. I didn't like the images because they were so faded. And it's like I was being very snobbish with my arts that I liked. And so I'm like, I need something that has more color in it. They don't have enough color in it. And then I found this one that has a back that's not plaid because I hated the plaid back. And then this has more colors in it. I said, oh, give me this one, the Radiant Rider Waite. So there's my Rider Waite, but it's different than the original one. I have it, but I don't like it. I like a bunch of colors. Meanwhile, one of my favorite decks is black and white, so go figure. Yes. I don't have any milk. Son of a mother. I can make it now, but I don't have the milk. There's a Waffle House down the street from here. And there's two down the streets. There's one here and one way down this way. And I've never been to the Waffle House in my whole life. Son of a mother is one. I don't like the Toth. Not because it's ugly or anything like that. But because I learned on the Rider Waite system. And the Toth changes it's changed from what I learned by. So I don't really like the Toth. I have a couple of decks that are based off the Toth system, but no. The Mood Tarot changed too many of the names for me. That's why I didn't want it. I seen it though. I think. I've never been to Waffle House. Every time I say the word Waffle House, yeah, the Zillich is a Toth one. That's why I don't like it. The Zillich and that Arcana one. I don't like it. But every time I say the words Waffle House, whoever is by me says, oh, they're awful. I've never been. So I can't say whether it's no, not the mood tarot. It's another one that you have it. I seen it on your channel, tarot. It has like black and white, all sort of black and white images. It kind of sepia a little bit, but the mood tarot from Etsy, the one that has the bad words in it. That one I didn't get because I don't think I can use it on YouTube because it has bad words. Just be prepared to fight. No, thank you. Oh, but there's two. I mean, one of them doesn't seem to be in the worst of neighborhoods. Got to answer the call, James. Grits. I have some grits in here. They're I don't. I ain't had grits since I was a kid. But what is it? Is it? Is it? What is it? It. How to describe it to someone who's never had it? Oh, I don't know how to describe it to you. It's like it's like, but it's finely ground corn. It's like yeah, there you go. Thank you, T Barb. It's nice when people know things. It's finely ground corn. It's like cornmeal boiled or something. It's really it's fine. It's like sand. That's what it reminds me of. Is sand, but it tastes good to some people because you put your whatever, a coarse wheat, a coarse cream of wheat, but it's not coarse. I don't think, is it? I don't know if it had it since I was a kid. There's some in there now, but it ain't my thing. I'm a malto meal person, so I've never really been to a grits person. Every time I even see it, I don't really think I want to eat that because it just looks like sand, white sand, and then they put eggs and a runny egg on it and black pepper. I don't eat black. I don't eat salt and pepper with my breakfast, and so plain sour cream. Yeah, no, I don't have any, but I can get some. Polenta. There you go. It's just like it. Couscous. Yes, it's just more fine like couscous. You only eat scrambled egg. I like, any kind of egg, but butter and pepper. See, I don't put salt and pepper on my breakfast. I just know. Like my father would not eat grape jelly or syrup because that's what we always had was grape jelly. And I grew up and got strawberry, but it's grape jelly and syrup on his breakfast. It was always ketchup and salt and pepper and all this. I'm like, that is not breakfast. That's like lunch. What are you eating right now? I like an egg. I like all kind of eggs. Yeah, I haven't used like Instacart and all those type of services. Grit. See, and the very first time I moved to Mississippi, right? I get this job, and this job I went to it, sat down in the break room area. The first thing somebody says is, "Hi, you want some shrimp and grits?" Some who and what? No. Chaba. Yes, I like sugar. I shouldn't, but I do. So everything has to be effing sweet. Um, but I'm like, shrimp and grits. First of all, I had grits since I was a kid. And I don't like anything out the water. I don't even like water. So I definitely don't want no shrimp. I've had shrimp before and it's awful. So yeah, no. But it was a big thing, of course, in Mississippi because that's good old Cajun Creole food. Shrimp and grits, gumbo, that whole thing. Now, I can eat some gumbo. Don't put no shrimp in there. But I can eat some gumbo. But shrimp and grits, no, no, not today, not tomorrow, no, ain't happening. Better go down to the Walmarts and get you something else to eat. Cause no. Yes, gumbo from scratch it takes forever, but it is the best thing you ever want to put in your face. Have I ever made cornbread from grits? No. I haven't eaten grits. That's what it is. Thank you. Black and orange. It is red beans. That's what I like. I'm like, I don't know what kind of bean it is. I just eat it. It's red beans. That's what it is. Red beans cornbread. Or any kind of bean that makes a soup with it. You know, that's what you that's but except not a white soup like a pinto or nothing. Just a brown soup. Yes. Yeah, my mother's Creole. And so we had plenty of that type of stuff. They always had to make two things of gumbo. One was for all the people who eat weird water animals, and the other one was for me. Because they put all of the ingredients, every type of animal that has ever walked the planet gets put into that thing. You got chicken and shrimp and this. It's like a whole bunch of crap is in there. Creole is basically French American. But as far as food goes, and it's a whole thing it's like a whole thing. That's where gumbo comes from. It's from Creole people. But all I wanted was you get me some smoked sausage and chicken, and then that's it. Like I don't put no. That was the nastiest thing. See them crab legs, them big old giant claws coming at it. Oh, that was the grossest thing you ever wanted to see. It's like, what kind of creature is in here? Y'all about to eat this? And then some of the the claw shell is like floating in you. Y'all about to choke to death. I'm not eating that. And then it stink. Mm-mm. Smell like crabs and shrimps and stuff. No, ma'am. Oh, no. You just see them things floating at the top, and it's got that nail on the end of it. Y'all about to eat that? Shh. Mm-mm. I wish I would put that in my mouth. And y'all cracking and... Child, please. Lord, that look nasty. You know, we don't have sugar in the house. We don't use regular sugar. I ain't had regular sugar. Now, mind you, I eat a bunch of crap with sugar in it. But like regular bags of sugar, I ain't used that in many a moons. My brother uses coconut sugar, I think, or some sort of, it's weird organic. He's that type of person. But I eat honey. Like, I don't really care for sugar, period. Not white sugar. White sugar makes everything too sweet. But I do have some brown sugar for like the malto meals and things like that. I put some brown sugar in my eggs the other day. All them damn things was good. It was fantastic. I like to bake. I don't like to cook on top of the stove because you got to stand there and watch it. But something that I can put in there and walk away, absolutely. See, and there's like the monk fruit for the sugar. They were also saying that, not they, but when I worked at the grocery store, they were saying to use avocados in place of your butter. So you can use avocado butter. And we don't use regular margarine. We use the, I can't believe it's not butter, which who knows what the hell that is, but there you go. See, I can't with the mud bugs. No. No. Bite the head, suck the tail, some stuff. No. I can't. No. And they look awful. And when I worked at the grocery store in Mississippi, and then people would come up there with these big ass bag of crawfish, and they still moving, I could have died 2 times in a row. That just looked awful. I'm like, you about to go home and eat this? They full of mud. Ain't no meat in there. All you doing is sucking up Old Bay seasoning. That's all you really doing. Child, please. Big old giant pieces of corn and potato, and you got this little bitty thing with this little piece of meat in there. All you doing is sucking up Old Bay seasoning. That ain't no meat in there. Child, please. I don't want real butter. I can't believe it's not butter. All of they look awful. And mind you, that store, they said they would go back there and make this big old pot of them, right? And then bring them up there for like samples. And so if you work there, you can stand there and eat them all day long. And people was like, oh, just crack and snap and just. That looks awful. What are you eating? They full of mud. They ain't cleaned them right. And you about to put that in your mouth? Okay. You might as well be a prostitute. If you just sticking weird stuff, and you might as well be. There you get paid a whole lot more than $7.25. You might as well. I mean, come on. You don't know where that thing been, and it's full of dirt. You might as well. God dog. TJ's chocolate malt cake. Don't make me buy a ticket and come out there. Kerrygold. I like the Irish butter. I did like them. Yeah, they're the bottom feeders too. And it ain't that so special though. You bring the lobster up here. It is the lowest of the low. That's actually why it's on the tarot card, because it's like the bottom of the evolutionary chain from bottom feeder to hunter. And you bring it out the ocean as the bottom feeder, and then you butter it up and then charge people $75 for it. It's like, this is literally, like you said, the cockroach of the sea, and you're charging me 75. Yes, because it tastes good to people. So, anything that says chocolate mousse is automatically delicious. Yeah, my aunt, she swears by some country crock. You can't get her to buy nothing else. Have I ever ate chocolate crickets? Leave the room immediately. No. I like Snickers and Reese Peasy cups and stuff. I'm not, first of all, let's start here. If there's some sort of nuclear zombie apocalypse, right? And everything is dead except crickets. I can't eat grass. I can't eat myself. Then I will eat a cricket. But everything has got to, poison ivy too, has got to be dead. For me to, oh, a Tim Tam. Don't you even start with a Tim Tam. Them damn things were so good, I almost mortgaged my house just to go buy all of them. It was, man. Crickets, I seen them, but I wouldn't dare in my whole life, in my whole afterlife, pick up a cricket and put it in my mouth. I don't care what it's covered in, gold, chocolate, anything. I'm not putting it in my mouth. You have literally got to fool me and say this ain't what this is. I will eat a gummy worm, but I ain't gonna eat no cricket. Let the church say amen on that one, because I can't. I don't see how they do that. chocolate crickets, chocolate. What was it? The other thing? Mealworms and all. There's actual food. We ain't got no food shortage. As much food as Americans throw away, ain't no food shortage. Child. Cricket enchiladas. You need you to stop it. I can't and I ain't. I ain't trying no snails either. I was in French club in high school. We went to a restaurant, French restaurant, and my instructor, she sat right across from me with these little bitty things. It was like six of them on the plate, and it just looked like boogers with butter on them as well, because it was just it looked nasty. And I'm like, I want to see you put that in your mouth right now. We're gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch you. And there she go, just blooping. Madam, you just ate a snail, and I'm gonna need you to leave the room. What kind of mess is that? There's food on this earth that you can eat that ain't bugs. Like you can still eat stuff. Like I understand the environmentalists be out there. They be on you. That don't you harm them chickens and cows, but don't eat bugs. Be vegetarian. That's good for you too. I like some salad, but I don't want no. They looked awful. They were little bitty. It wasn't no bigger than this, I don't think. And it was, if you want to, you go right ahead. But what I ain't gonna do is put that big slimy blob of stuff in my mouth. No. No, thank you. And then they had uh nothing. I ain't even going there. Never mind. See, I drink some nasty stuff, but I ain't drinking that. Especially if it look like kombucha. I ain't no that stuff. No, that looked like the devil in a jar too. I can't and I ain't. It was a show I was watching. I don't remember which one it was, but it was way back in the day. And these people was walking up to the wall that the shore or the water was hitting the wall, and sometimes oysters or whatever, I don't know what they even are, mussels or whatever it is, will get stuck in the wall. And so you go up to the wall, you pick one out, it's a black shell, you pop it open, and then that is nasty. Y'all keep looking for aliens. Do y'all the aliens? What? How you just pluck that thing open and oh my god. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was just how you just pluck it out the wall, crack it open, and suck it down. I can't do it, and I ain't gonna watch it. You ain't cooked that. You ain't tested it for hepatitis or nothing. You just swallowed it down your throat like it wasn't nothing, and just kept on doing it. And you picked another one out and another one out. And how you eating that stuff like that? Cook it at least. At least cook it. Like, I mean, yeah, dog. I can't. I can't. I ain't. I'm not. No. Well, that first time I seen a cow tongue, it shocked the absolute hell out of me. I've never seen one before. And then it's coming across the conveyor belt while I'm cashiering, and I'm just boop, boop, boop. Is that a cow tongue? I ain't say nothing because I'm professional, and I just booped it on. And but Lord Jesus, it looked like That was the weirdest thing. And why do you? But then again, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, why do you want to eat that? But I understand. Back in the day, when you had children to feed, you had to eat everything. This is why my family growing up, they ate pig feet and pig snoot and pig ears and pig tails and all these type of things too. So, whatever. Cow brains. You do you. I ain't eating it. Mm-mm. Oh, Lord. Oh, that would have traumatized anybody with a body full of crabs. No. Mm-mm. I think it did mine like that too. It defaults to top chat, so you see half the people instead of live chat. Yeah, I take your word for it. You eat all the tongues you want to. You go right ahead. Now, I guess everybody eats something weird because it's probably cultural and geographical. It's just, like haggis. It's one of them things, and fish and eggs, and like I can't imagine eating fish and eggs at the same time. I don't even like fish. I every now and then, but no. Would I live on a farm or ranch if I didn't have to do anything with the animals? Yes, I'm not an animal person. I'm just not. That's true. If you eat bologna, you eat a whole bunch of things: cow hairs, tongues, teeth, everything. But see, haggis and tripe and chitterlings. Chitterlings is a regional thing too. I'm pretty sure everybody in the world doesn't eat pig intestine, but in the country we did. I didn't, but we did. And pig feet, chicken feet, frog legs. That was a regional thing until other people caught on. Spam is a regional thing. Well, it used to be. Now it's a national thing, but there's just some things that, like I was saying about the fry up the other day. What is that? Sausage, egg, and beans. I wouldn't dare eat that together. That sounds awful. But that's like the most popular thing in the world when in England, is it not? But I wouldn't eat it. It just now, mind you, it's not nasty. It just sounds weird together. Because regionally, we do not eat sausage, eggs, and beans together. Yeah, if you have mechanically separated meat, that's all that is. It's a whole bunch of things mixed together. Commodity cheese, absolutely. Mm-mm. Do they really? Well, I guess they have a lot of pigs too. They got a bunch of people to feed too. But I no, you give me some chitlins and I will gag right at your table. They even look nasty. Ew, possum brains. No, thank you. Yeah, you eat mechanically separated meat. You eat leftovers of whatever it is they couldn't chop up to make something big. I ate a piece of chitlin that was probably half of this, I just no, I'm not. I just can't. Cause somebody's like, "Well, you never even tasted." They put hot sauce on it, and I'm like, I don't want. I had like, I had a piece maybe that darn big. I can't. It smell. I was gonna say it smells like crap because it's intestines. So that's where all the pig doo doo is. Therefore, it stinks. Now, if you clean it right and you cook it right, it's supposed to taste good. But I know it's not necessary when there's ribs. I'll eat the ribs, you eat the chitlins. How about that? How about that? Mm-mm. No, this is the food portion of the live stream. We done the readings already. Yes, if you clean them right and you do all that stuff, that's what they say. You know, that's it's a. I'm not. Tripe looks awful. Ham hocks. Now, no, I can eat neck bones, but don't give me no ham hocks. Ham hocks is pig nads. I've never heard of prairie oysters, but fill me in so we can be grossed out. Mm-mm-mm. You love tripe? It looks weird. It looks like I seen it once. It looked like a honeycomb that was like bleached out or something. See, that's what ham hocks are. They're just pig nads. I can't. See now, if you can use anything to flavor something else. I can get with that, but I'm not eating those. And hog head cheese and all. No, I'm not eating that mess. We still got battery power. Yeah, pork and beans and hot dogs. Absolutely. I love that too. It was one of them things that you could make and not have to cook. You just cut those up, dump it in there, boil it all together, boom, it's ready when it's hot. Um, no, noodles and soup. I mean, like chicken noodle soup, sure. So yeah, I'll say yeah. I don't know. You order charms in a mat too, like the ones Becca was talking about. Oh, like Poe. You know, I've never had it, but I'm open to that because it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's green, but it doesn't. It doesn't look bad. You know what I have been wanting to try though was ramen with the egg in it, because apparently that's how it's made. But I've never done that, and so I want to try that one day and put like a boiled egg in. Is it pronounced Poe? Am I saying it right? or PHO. How do you say that? Am I saying it right? But yeah, I would be open to that though. I've never had it though. I've never had ramen with the egg in it. I want to try that. Pho is how you say it. Pho. How do you say it? Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I have both of those actually, ramen and is that pho or pho? Now I'm remedial and I can't read. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. The egg in the ramen. I have some of that. I wonder because I don't really want to use the seasoning packet because that's so darn salty sometimes. But I could probably put cayenne pepper in it or something. Who is Val Demings? Jalapeno is good for anything. It'll snatch everything out your chest. Do you really? Well, I will say this. I have never been able to pinpoint who the vice president will be. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've tried it with the runes, I've tried it with the tarot. I get the same thing every time, and it doesn't necessarily mean nothing because I don't know. I don't know. That's what I can tell you. I am a person who never called myself psychic because I can't pluck answers out of nowhere. And so I am comfortable with the phrase, I don't know. And who's going to be the vice president? I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, if it's Barack Obama, me and you both are going to faint. Mm-mm-mm. Do I get the Eight of Swords? No. I get the Queen of Wands. So there you go. Do I watch Violetta? No, I do not. Val Demings. Just anybody but Klobuchar. We ain't gonna have to. We ain't talking about it. She is not my person. I can't. You know what? So here's the thing, Martha. It's one of those things, kind of like Trump. This is unprecedented. So it is not illegal for Barack Obama to be vice president, apparently. So he could, but he's not. Because that job took a toll on that man, and I'm pretty sure he does not want to do it again. So, no, he's not going to be vice president. And depends on what's going on in the country. Um, Joe Biden may be pressured to pick a black one. But like I said, they already made their choice. They just ain't told us yet, if you ask me. Val Demings, King of Wands and the Devil. Eight of Currents, the Tower, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. There is confirmation around a offer for a position here. So she is in the running, but there is some unbalanced energy around something in the past. So that means she still needs to be vetted and whatnot. That doesn't mean necessarily anything bad. She does get the Tower around the job and the Four of Coins. There may be an obligation that she is stuck in. I don't know what that even means, because she can quit that to be vice president for sure. But the Devil is in the middle, so the Devil's in the details. So I'm not sure what kind of obligation or thing that would come up. But there you go. She's in the running. She is being considered. That's as close as I get. Now, you can use that as a yes card if you want to. The Ace of Swords. But, no. I don't know who it is. But she gets the Ace of Swords in the end, which is a positive card. So there you go. As long as it ain't Klobuchar. She's been making statements lately, I guess, trying to cling to the hopes of being VP. Oh, those officers should be charged. And hell, you had the chance to charge him when he killed the first person. So you sit down in row C and shut up, please. Now you want to say they need to be charged? How come you didn't do it? You had the power to charge them. To charge the same person who killed George Floyd, killed somebody else, and Amy did not do anything. Now, in her only defense, which I'm not defending, but in her only defense, or the defense that they're raising, let me say it that way, is that she was on her way to Congress. And so that wasn't really her position to do anything. Yeah, I'm sure. You had a whole 2-3 weeks before you went to Congress. You could have put some, you could have did something, you could have put something in motion, but you didn't do that either. So say, miss me with the bull crap, madam. Nancy can be president if Trump and Pence go away, but that's the only way she's going to be president. But I've said this from the beginning. I think I'm the only one who keeps saying this, but Trump ain't going nowhere. He's going to make it his full term, but he just won't get reelected. Therefore, Pence ain't going nowhere. And if they got rid of Trump, they're not getting rid of Pence because that would cause too much crap. So he's going to be there. Now, everything everybody has read and written and whatever says that he's going. That he is not going to finish his term. I don't see it. I am more than happy to be wrong. I wish I'd have been wrong 3 years ago. But I don't see it. So show me how he gets out, and then I'll see it. Pence and Lindsay will run a dance club. Oh, Lord. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, when he's voted out, he has no choice. I understand that there's this hysteria about he won't leave and he'll cling to power and he'll this and that. January 20th, noon, he has no choice. He can literally be arrested should he not leave the White House. So this is not one of those things that he has a choice in. His power ceases. Therefore, if somebody wanted to be petty boots, they could arrest him, literally, not figuratively. They can literally slap cuffs on him and put him in jail for trespassing. Now, the part that you should worry about, well, not worry about, but the part that's going to be interesting is if come November that he loses, he still has November, December, and half of, well, pretty much all of January to still be president knowing that he has lost. That's the part where he's going to go ape crap crazy and then, try to make life hard for some people. But outside of that, he has no choice. Yes, he has no choice but to leave. No. Um, so Obama felt worried. He claims he felt fine, but he didn't. I don't want to read on. I don't even know who Baba Vanga is, but I don't want to read on that because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to project him having a stroke. So whatever, like I said, if somebody out there in prediction land gave a prediction, ask them to clarify it. I don't want to read if he's going to have a stroke because I don't want to project that on him. It's a special police. I forget because I read the article a long time ago, but it's not the Secret Service. Some kind of special force that if he didn't leave the White House, they would call this secret force or special forces, not secret, some sort of special police force. They would come in and remove the trespasser, but they can't call. You call the police and get him. It's a step thing. It's not like you get the Secret Service to, drop from the ceiling and carry him out. It's a step thing that you have to do. But he's gonna leave because if he doesn't win, then the statute of limitations is not up. So he needs to be thinking about his lawsuits. How did Obama fail? Yeah, that's yeah. Well, so he feels as though here with the Nine of Swords, for those who've watching long enough, this is stress and worry, despair. But he feels as though with the conflict and the person coming in here with Donald Trump, there's still a conflict there. He feels as though I have to put on the brave face and say, oh, we're going to be okay. Don't worry. The country's not going to burn down. Because Obama does also know that behind the scenes that it's harder to tear the country structure down. Now, I know we believe he has done that, but he really hasn't, okay? Just as a temperate reaction, he has not ruined everything. He has just done a really bad job with the things he has ruined. So And then here with the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, Obama knew that we would outlast him. So he knew it would be crappy. He knew it would go wrong because, first of all, not to be mean to anyone in the comments, should you be one of these people, but it's a Republican administration, and every time Republicans get in power, things go down. So he knew it was already going to go to crap, and that they were going to attack his legacy and then his ACA. So he knew that was going to happen here. He knew everything was going to go to crap there, but he knew that they could not break the whole country in 4 years. So, but they have tried, and they still have time. But he was worried. He's still worried, but because he realized what that man could do if he were smarter. Uh-oh, low battery. You sent me a recipe. And see, that's the only saving grace, is that he is not smarter than he is. Am I going to do a live with Tarot or the Princess Oracle? No, not tonight anyway. The phone is dying, and I think I've talked enough. It's been, what, 3.5 hours? This child is TV. Okay. Uh-huh. Barr has a secret police. We did a reading on him earlier. Oh, he's going to contest it. I read that a while back. He's going to contest it, which well, let's look again. And by Connie, and the if it says he's going to contest it, that means he lost. So is Trump going to contest it? I'll pull 3 cards. Two of Swords, stalemate. 9 of Swords or something worrying, and the 8 of Pentacles. So some sort of indecision, some sort of worry about work. He will contest. Because why wouldn't he? He wasn't even happy when he won. So he's oh, what a maroon. I can't and I ain't. Well, from what I understand, what happens in you contesting the election is the person who contested has to pay for it, because it has to be a recount and a read this and a read that. And if you want it, you have to pay for it. And so I don't know if, I mean, there was a money card there, so he is going to have to be the one to pay for it, or the RNC will pay for it, or whoever, but, you know. That's where I got that from. He is a maroon. No 11 hours, no. We don't have that kind of battery life. It's at 14% right now. So there's that. But it's early here. I was, you know it's interesting you say that about Nixon's funeral. I was just watching an old interview from, I think, 2018, from Jimmy Carter and Stephen Colbert. And Jimmy was saying that he was about to go and meet up with Clinton and Bush. And then right after that, I watched a clip of Bush, Clinton, and Obama talking about Haitian relief from the earthquake, I think it was at the time. So yeah, it was just quite interesting. I think a lot of things helped Trump, and Putin was a big factor. But I know that for a fact that several people I know were a part of a Black Lives Matter group on Facebook that was run by Russians, for a fact, because it got shut down. And this in particular group was putting out there that Hillary Clinton was racist. And I paid them no mind when they were reading it because of other people they support. But I heard it in the store when there's a black dude and I guess his wife or whoever. They were saying no, they weren't voting for Hillary. They weren't voting because they don't like Trump, and they ain't voting for Hillary because she's a racist. I'm like, oh, I ain't heard that one. And then this Facebook stuff started coming up, and like, oh, that's where you got it from. But yeah, it's interesting. Facebook has no scruples either. Well, they did it correctly. They disguised themselves. They target audience. They did. I mean, as awful as they were, they did a damn good job at it. And you know, if you're going to be corrupt intelligently. Zuckerberg, that dude there. Mm-mm-mm. He's he gets worse by the story. It's like you already think he's awful, and then something comes out and proves it. And then something comes out and you think, oh, he's more than awful, he's corrupt, and then something proves it. And then worst of all, he's a Trump supporter, and then something proves it. So when you hear something about him, you're inclined to believe it. So there you go. Hi, Glenda. She going for his neck for real. Because he's got that old weird yellow skin and them big weird alien eyes. And then his mouth moves, but it goes down at the same time. It's like, look like somebody mimicking a human. It's like, what are you, young man? What are you exactly? He just has a weird everything. I bet he never gets a haircut. It just stays that way. I see. He's just. I don't know. Yes, we did. Jen actually brought it up in a live stream. She said, "Is he soulless? Like, did he sell his soul to something?" And for fame and fortune, he is without scruple. Yeah, he just got a pat of hair. He just looks like somebody mimicking a person. Like, what is happening here? Mm, like a Sims character or something. You just stay the same, don't you? Maybe his wife created him. You know, the Chinese know everything. They created the was it the Chinese or Japanese? One of them created the lifelike dolls and all that. Yeah, there you go. She made herself one. She made herself a husband. Hmm, hmm. Yes, he is like Data. Exactly. He's got that yellow skin, and he's got weird alien eyes, and has a weird mouth that like it goes to the floor when he talks. He's just a weird guy. I mean, when you sell everything for fame and fortune, what do you have left? He likes Trump. He likes Putin too. So there you go. It's small and insignificant, but I bring it up every time. When you went to meet Barack Obama, you wore jeans and a t-shirt. When you went to meet Vladimir Putin, you put on a suit. Why? Why? Now I know Barack Obama was the cool president, but you're still going to meet the president. Put a damn suit on your back. Now, if you go meet Trump, then you can dress however you want to. But you going to meet Barack Obama, 44, put a suit on. But you put one on to go meet Vladimir Putin. I know you can buy one. You stole them people's idea and made Facebook, so you took all their money. Mm, mm, mm. How do you like a Trump? See, and that was the thing that's like I struggled with not trying to call people racist all the time because that's such a strong word and it's sometimes not a strong word because we use it every 9 seconds when some white person somewhere says something wrong about any other group of person on earth, we deem it racist. It's like people white couldn't criticize Barack Obama. He was their president too. If you don't think he did a good job, you should be able to say that without being branded a racist. But in this in particular case, if you like Donald Trump, those first couple years I was trying to say and I still say it because I know some Trump supporters and they're not racist. But if you are complicit with the person's racism, just like the George Floyd thing, then you are guilty by association. So if you're going to stand there while this person is racist, then you are racist too. So I cannot. I mean, it's just like the George Floyd thing. If you're just going to stand there and watch one man kill another man, then you're complicit in the murder. If you're going to stand there and watch somebody's child being beaten to death, then you're complicit in that. If you watch somebody beat an animal to death, you're complicit in that too. So if you see Trump and he is talking about Mexicans and black people and shithole countries and stuff like that, and you're okay with these statements, then I cannot call you a regular person. I have to give you either racist or racist adjacent, but you are some sort of person who cares very little about other people. I'll say it that way. So I just, at this point, if you like him, you get to like him. That's your prerogative. Because just like we get to not like him. But I then get to attach to you all kinds of adjectives that go along with the fact that you like him. Maybe you're a fool too. Maybe you're a racist too. Maybe you're a narcissist too. Maybe you're all these things too. What you're not is a billionaire, and like many people have pointed out to you, he doesn't actually care about you. So, yes, if you are not racist, you are racist adjacent. But you are not a regular person. So, I don't know. How can you look at what he's done and look at what he said and look at the facts? This whole people at the border thing, like, how are you still at the border? And you see this as a Republican Christian party. And that's okay. So if you're not racist, you're racist adjacent. Which means you are just one step away from being full-blown Donald Trump racist. So, okay, just go away. Like, for God's sakes, I don't understand. Jose Martinez, bless your heart. All you had to do was say hi. You didn't have nobody else to talk to. We understand. There's 470 people in here. If you say hi, one of them would have said hi back to you. I guarantee you. That's all. Because I know you're still here. Timed out doesn't mean we kicked you out. It just means you can't say nothing. So, I mean, just say hi. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to get your feelings hurt. Don't, take your panties out your butt and have a conversation with the rest of us. We don't all agree. It's 400 people in here. We're not all going to have the same ideals and idea, but he's not trolling. They want somebody to talk to. It's 10 o'clock at night where I am, whoever o'clock at night where he is, or morning, whatever the hell. They just want to talk to somebody. And here's why I don't ever just like come down on the trolls and, and like try to set fire to them and all that kind of stuff. Because if you look at it this way, look at it my way one time, just one time, look at it my way. You sit in a house, there's 3 people in the house. You're sitting in front of your computer. There's 472 people watching one dude talk about what the hell ever. So you start talking and typing weird stuff and off the wall stuff and trying to distract people and say, oh, you suck and oh, this, and this. Like you're trying to get their attention. You sitting in a house with real live people that you can see and touch and hear and smell, but you won't talk to them. That's sad. That you feel like you can't talk to them. That you feel like you have nothing to say to them, like they have nothing to say to you. You're not connected with the people who are in the direct vicinity of you, but you want to talk and spread crap over in here. All you got to do, if you were looking for attention that bad, is say hi. That's it. Somebody in here will say hi back to you. At least one of them. And then you can have a long conversation with that one person. I have done it many a times in a chat room. And 900 people are talking, but you and that one person, y'all keep looking for each other comments because y'all are the only 2 talking back and forward to each other. And then here you go sitting in the house, and I guarantee you somebody else sitting in that house with that child, and he ain't said nothing to him. But you carry your behind over here and you want to talk to us then. But don't try to harass in the cause because I'm unshakable. You don't bother me. Like you don't. You start to bother other people that way we got to kick you out. Okay. When you disrupt the chat, then you got to go. You got to go somewhere else. You ain't got to go where you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. But talk to somebody around you. Get you a pen pal. Write to somebody in the military. Write to somebody in jail. They might need a place to stay when they get out. But my lord, Jose Martinez, if that is your real name, sweetheart, just say hi. That's all y'all gotta do. I'm just saying. Just say hi. We friendly most of the time. They do have quotas, but you know, just say hi. Everybody in here at one point was new. What if it's Lady G? He on his boyfriend's account. Oh Lord, I can't. Can you imagine him having a Hispanic boyfriend? Oh Lord. That would be hilarious. Show up to the RNC with Jose Martinez, Lindsey Graham. Oh, I would die a glorious death of laughter. You show up at the RNC and everybody up there just chitting and chatting. You got Mitt Romney ain't invited, so you got all the other I don't know Republican names. Republican A, Republican B, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Steve Jobs, who the hell ever, I don't know. They got all kind of people up there. They got they celebrities that they like that ain't famous no more. They got all them people up there. And so Lindsey Graham come walking in, him and Jose Martinez. They sit right in the front row. Lindsey crosses his legs real hard and look up right up at Trump, and then Trump ain't got nothing to say, because what you gonna say? Oh, that would be fantastic. Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes, 5%. That would be fantastic. I would love that. Well, see, that's what Becca was picking up on, is that somebody likes, you know what? I won't even call that cross dressing. Because, okay, here's the thing. Yes, they're called women's shoes, but it's a shoe. If a man wants to wear a heel, he can wear a heel. Men's shoes used to have heels on them back in the day. Now, mind you, they were platform and they were thick, but still, they had heels on them back in the day. And high heel shoes was some all the celebrities wore, so it was a fad. It was a thing. So yeah, wear you some heels if you want to wear some heels. Go for it. Be yourself, Lindsay. I mean, I know you can't, but I have to say it anyway, just as a public service announcement. Son of a bee. This phone is so dark right now. I think it's just dark in here. No, it's dark, period. What we got? We got 3%, 4%, what? 4%. No, Pence doesn't wear heels. He's a man. If that's a thing. So he likes the rugged outdoors. He's an outdoorsman. Well, good. I have a couple people say they work nights, and so this keeps it going. Now, mind you, only got like 20 more minutes until the phone dies, but Mike, okay, I told this story before, but back in the day when I worked in a grocery store, men like Pence, and this is what reminded me of him when I seen it in front of me, and then I did the reading, and then this is him. They go to the mountains, to these little retreats, and all these type of things together. Now, this is not to say that every time men get together, one of them or all of them are partaking in each other. But when you go out of the way to make something exclusively male, somebody likes somebody, and somebody gonna like somebody laying down. And so these guys come in. They don't come in together, but they come in. I guess when they can and go through the line, and they all say the same thing, which is why I know they're together. Going to a hunting camp up in the mountains. The next one, 2 hours later, going. Why are you telling me? First of all I said was, "Hi, how you doing?" "Oh, good." "Oh, well, I guess that's why they told me." "I'm good. I'm going up to the hunting camp in the mountains. We live in Mississippi." But they're going to a hunting camp. But they are buying all the meat that you have ever seen in your life. What are you hunting if you buying all this meat? Are you just shooting stuff to be shooting stuff? Are you shooting clouds, trees? What are we hunting? Why are you buying ribs and pork eyes and pork steaks and all these different types of things when you go into a place where animals live and you're going to eat one of them? What are you hunting? Is this the search for Red October? What are you hunting right now? So, I mean, I know what they're hunting, but like they're buying all this meat and they're going to a hunting camp, which means y'all can go up there, have a barbecue, hunting camp, yes, and screw for 4 days and then go back home to your wife. So yes. And then when I did the reading, because they look the same too, but he reminds me of these hunting camp dudes, and they all come through one at a time, and they go into the hunting camp, and every single last one of them got a grocery bill of $65 or more. And so then he gets in the car and go up to the hunting camp, and then man A and man B and man C follow you up there. And I know it's a bunch of y'all because a bunch of y'all came through saying the same exact thing. And then Mike Pence looked just like them, and I did the reading, and yes, he's a hunting camp person too. I don't know who he going with, but I know he going. And he had fun when he was there, and Mama Mother, whatever her name is, didn't go. I don't know if she got a sewing camp, but what I do know is he went up there and he had him some fun. Because what mama won't do, some nasty heifer in the mountains will. Okay? I'm going to just say it like that. He gonna get his, though. With Jose Martinez. Absolutely.